Bienvenidos! Today we're going to be working on translating sentences from English into Spanish. We'll start with easy ones and then move on to some more difficult ones. Let's start with she is beautiful. How do you say she? Ella. Is. How do you say is? Es. And beautiful? Hermosa. Ella es hermosa. Ella es hermosa. How about it is cold outside? It is actually one word in Spanish. Hace. Hace. And how do you say cold? Frío. And outside? Afuera. Hace frío afuera. Hace frío afuera. How would you translate you are tired? How do you say you? Tú. Tú is for the informal you. How do you say are? Estás. And tired? Cansado or cansada. It depends on the gender of the person. Tú estás cansado for a male. Tú estás cansada for a female. Tú estás cansado. Tú estás cansada. And how would you ask this question? Who is she? How do you say who? ¿Quién? Is. Es. And how do you say she? We already practiced with that one. Ella. ¿Quién es ella? ¿Quién es ella? The food was delicious. How do you say the? In this case, it's la. And food, comida. Comida is a feminine singular noun. That's why we use la. Was, estuvo, delicious. Deliciosa. La comida estuvo deliciosa. La comida estuvo deliciosa. How would you say we are very happy? How do you say we? It could be nosotros or nosotras, depending on the gender. How do you say are? Estamos and very, muy, and how would you say happy? Felices. Nosotros estamos muy felices. Nosotras estamos muy felices. In Spanish, we have to conjugate the verbs to the person, but we also have to make sure the adjectives match the gender and plurality of the nouns. So happy could be feliz for singular or felices for plural. The gender doesn't play a role on this one. How do we translate my keys are lost? How do you say my? Mis. In this case, keys is a plural noun, so we're going to use mis. And how do you say keys? Llaves. And are. Están. Lost is perdidas. Mis llaves están perdidas. Mis llaves están perdidas. How about this one? They were playing outside. How do you say they? It could be ellos or ellas, depending on the gender. Were. Estaban. And how about playing? Jugando. Outside. We already saw that one. Do you remember? Afuera. Ellos estaban jugando afuera. Ellas estaban jugando afuera. How would you translate that is not funny? How do you say that? Eso. In Spanish, negative sentences have the word no first. No, and the verb comes after. Es. How do you say funny? Chistoso. Eso no es chistoso. Eso no es chistoso. Let's keep practicing with this structure. Your house is not near. How do you say your? Tú. How do you say house? Casa. And here we swap is not. We're going to use no first. And then está. How do you say near? Cerca. Tu casa no está cerca. Tu casa no está cerca. How about you were not at home? How do you say you? Tú. And what comes next? No. How do you conjugate were in this instance? Estabas at, en, and how do you say home? Casa. Tú no estabas en casa. Tú no estabas en casa. You're doing really good. How do we translate I was worried about you? How do we say I? Yo, and was, estaba, worried. Worried could be preocupada or preocupado based on the gender. And how would you translate about? Por, and you, ti. Yo estaba preocupada por ti. Yo estaba preocupado por ti. I am at the hospital. I is yo, am, estoy, at, en. That in this case is el because hospital is considered a masculine singular noun. Hospital is hospital. Remember that in Spanish the H is always silent. Yo estoy en el hospital. Yo estoy en el hospital. Yo estoy en el hospital. And how do we talk about the future? I will be ready soon. I is yo, and will be is actually just one word in Spanish. Estaré. And how do you say ready? Lista or listo, based on the gender. And soon is pronto. Yo estaré lista pronto. Yo estaré listo pronto. And how would you ask this question? Where were you last night? How do you say where? ¿Dónde? And where? ¿Estabas? Tú, although it's not necessary in Spanish, last night is actually just one word, anoche. ¿Dónde estabas tú anoche? ¿Dónde estabas tú anoche? I hope you learned something new today. If you like this type of format, go watch this video next, as it's a very similar structure where we also translate from English into Spanish. Muchas gracias.